Hey everyone, welcome back to another Godzilla Battleline video, and today I am breaking down how exactly I use Godzilla Earth when I play with him. A lot of people saw the deck video yesterday. I'm seeing a lot of those decks in play today. However, a lot of you guys are getting run over because your Godzilla Earths are level 1 or 2. So, I'm going to try to help you more utilize your deck with maybe a lower level Earth, but I want to say it right off the bat that Earth is going to perform his best at levels 3 or 4 or 5, especially 5 and 4. So, if you are really set on leveling up Earth, you're going to want to try to grind for him as best you can. Pray to the RNG gods if you have a ton of gems. I don't advocate for using them on his boxes. Maybe you want to do that. I don't know. Use your G material on him from the event that's coming up, you know, the arena. If you really want to invest in him, go for it. With that being said, the battle on screen is I should get it out of the way, obviously, is a fixed battle. This is not a ranked battle. I don't think Price or myself would use one of these decks as they stand with my current levels. At least I wouldn't use this in fixed, or in ranked, I'm sorry, with my levels just on Earth. And then Price is using like a stealth bomber and like mostly spells. So I don't think he would use that in a ranked either. With that being said, let's break down the video and how I am going about it. So right now, I have Batra and Bylante on the field. I'm just trying to get them evolved, right? So with this deck especially, which we're going to obviously focus on this deck more than anything else because it's what I'm using in the video, I want to get the evolutions up, right? I have Earth in my deck for 9 energy, but if you see in my deck, my damage is pretty low if I don't get those Evos up. I have Super X, which is good, but doesn't do a lot, and I have Manila, which also is good, but doesn't do a lot of damage. Obviously, Super X's damage is going to build up over time because of the insane range, but you know, Super X isn't going to solo the entire enemy team. I need to have more damage. I need more DPS. That's where Bylante and Batra for me come in. So the way I use Godzilla Earth, and I'm going to utilize him in a second. I wanted to place him on the left side, but I wanted him really on the right? But I didn't realize that the building was there, so I had to use Bylante to clear that building out so I could place Earth. Earth is basically functioning like a tank in a competitive shooter like Overwatch or like League of Legends, something like that. He's slow. He doesn't do too much damage, but he can eat up shots like it's nobody's business. That's his job, is to eat up hits. So you can see right here, he got Dimension Tied into everyone. Batra got it. I'll put the heal down. That Godzilla Earth is distracted, right, by those other units, but my Earth was able to take his time and go through. Earth is going to push up. These other units are going to go down, but Earth is going to remain on the field, and Earth is pretty formidable force. He's going to have around 5,000 HP or so at level 5, so that is a wall, and especially for newer players, that is going to be tough to overcome and climb. A good thing about Earth as well is that he takes up 4 spots on the battlefield, right? So a lot of the aggro from your enemies is going to come to him, unless your characters like that Manila is just a little ahead, right? So that Manila is dead. These characters aren't even going for Super X, and if you see this other Godzilla Earth, he'll fire. He doesn't even touch the Super X. So in this deck specifically, the Super X is extremely good to just put behind Earth because he takes up so much space that long-range units are going to attack Earth first, or units with piercing like Earth or Desghidorah might not even reach Super X. I think Desghidorah might reach because Desghidorah needs to be closer, and because he's closer, his piercing is going to go further, but you're really not seeing a lot of Desghidorahs in competitive play right now, especially at lower levels. You don't even see them too much at higher levels either, except if there's a whale that has it. Next with the deck, obviously Batra is giving his buff, and Bylante is probably all around the best DPS in the game, especially in water. This map, not in water too much, but there is a little bit of water, but that's not why we have it. We need DPS, right? Earth's attack is 5 seconds, not 5 costs, I was going to say, but it's 5 seconds, so you need to fill in that gap. Super X and Manila are fine, and they're going to stun and hit from a long range, which is good, but obviously Batra and Bylante are going to be doing the most damage. Now, that Batra buff on Godzilla Earth is not a joke either. A 50% boost to Godzilla Earth's attack is massive. He normally is going to get that 50% boost when he falls below 33% health. At level 5 or at level 6, I think it is, his 33% health is still like 1,300 something, so almost the same as his level 1 stats, right? As it stands, he gets a 50% buff to himself, and that buff seems to function differently than the other attack boost buffs. So what it looks like right now, we need to do a little bit more testing to confirm it, but what it looks like is his 50% boost will stack on other characters' boosts. And I think I said earlier in this video, Batra has a 50%. It used to be Batra has a 30% now, just to clarify. So I've said before that you can't take a Batra boost on top of a G89 boost and make it a 70% boost, and that is true. That is still true. However, it does look like that you can take Godzilla Earth's 33% health, bonus of 50% damage and stack that. So we can actually give Earth a 70% buff, it seems like. That is massive with the piercing and the range that he has. That's going to be huge. And I don't use Mothra's ability in this fight, you know, but I'm using Psychic Chorus a lot on Earth. So Psychic Chorus with Mothra heal with the double damage boost, Earth is literally a wall. He is a killing machine. Especially at the high levels, it's going to take a lot for him to get through with the opponents. You can see this 1v1 on the 2 Earths right there. Mine has a little bit more health because I was able to hit the heal. He's going to go down, right? But then Manila's come up to assist. And even before in the fight earlier, Earth versus Earth, I had my my Earth came out on top. And you can see, well, what Price is doing is he's putting his Earth down where my Earth is to try to counterbalance it. Because if you can have these 2 units covering up all this land together, battling that, whoever the Earth comes out on top, you're going to have a significant push ahead of you. So in an Earth v Earth battle, like how we just saw there, make sure yours comes out on top. Use your healing if you can. Use your Super X to support from behind because you want your Earth to survive that push because you're going to have a huge wall for your next big push on the map. Speaking of pushes, fast cycle decks with like Kamakuris and like low costing units of that like type, like Manila, Kamakuris, Dorats, having a fast cycle deck with them with Earth isn't an amazing idea because they don't have a ton of power and they die really quickly, and then Earth doesn't have a ton of power but he survives for a long time. So even if you can keep cycling these units out, you're not really supporting him with enough damage. You want to make sure the damage is there. The health is there. You no longer have to worry about having the proper health on the battlefield. As long as Earth is up, you have the health on the battlefield. You have the advantage. But you need to supplement the damage, right? So even, I'm not using it in this deck, but a good deck combo is instead of Batra, you can use Space Godzilla because he'll always be pumping out a buff. A 25% damage buff every 9 seconds with his crystals, and that's only 5% lower than Batra. It's a little bit more expensive than Batra, but you can put Space Godzilla behind Earth and he'll just keep cranking out crystals and cranking out crystals. And you know what those crystals do? Crystals take aggro, right? So you can have Earth with a ton of health behind or next to a bunch of the crystals, so before he even gets hit, these crystals are going down and Space Godzilla keeps spawning them and spawning them. Because that's not going to only help Earth, but it's going to protect your entire team. But a main thing with these 3 decks, or 2 decks with 3 pieces in the decks I want to talk about is Mothra Leader is probably the best leader to use for Earth. There is an argument to be used for G89, so you can give him the damage boost, the 50% damage boost. But we might as well just use Batra or Space Godzilla anyway to stack with his 33% health boost and then heal him out of that boost, you know, with Mothra and Psychic Chorus. Additionally, because he's so expensive, you need to have the energy collecting base or the energy resource base or whatever the hell it's called, the energy battery. Basically what I did, you can see here, I evolutioned these units, the Batra and the Biollante. When I'm able to place them again, I immediately put down the energy base because I'm trying to get my energy fast, get Earth on the field as fast as I can, and so I will have more time for my energy to cycle through, and then I can place more units with Earth. If you just have Earth on his own, he's probably going to get rocked. You know, a high King Caesar is going to destroy a low level Earth. But if you can get that energy base out, you know, I'm charging up right now. I put Super X down for some support, and then it's going to go up 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get Earth. I'm going to drop him, and then I'm going to make a big push with him, and you'll see that Price is going to Dimension Tide everyone into the Batra buff, which actually benefited me a ton in this particular battle. But you mainly are playing around Earth. You're not using Earth on one side of the map, and then all your other characters on the other. Because when your enemy sees Earth coming through, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at him, right? Everything to take him down. And then if your characters are caught, you know, on the other side and the enemy just pushed through Earth, that's a big push coming your way. So you want to play around Earth. You want to keep Earth and the units that are around him buffed and alive. So Psychic Chorus has a huge range for healing, right? Batra has a nice range for healing as well. So does Space Godzilla. And then the Mothra heal is gonna make that all even better. So I feel like I'm going in circles with what I'm trying to say, but the main gist is, if you made it to this long in the video, play around Earth. He's your central base. Consider him your leader on the field, right? You are protecting him. You are around him. Or not that you're protecting him, but you're around him and buffing him and keeping him healthy. That way he can protect the rest of your team. He can take aggro. He can be a wall. You keep him alive. You keep his damage coming. He'll hit multiple units. You can see he hits the Batra there. earlier in the fight, he can hit other units. You've seen in all the gameplay we've shown on this channel, he can pierce. He does multiple hits of damage. So if you can keep him alive and buff with the damage, you are going to see insane rewards out of him. And a lot of people are having difficulty using him, and I think it's because of the levels. Because at level 4 and 5, you know, 4,000 and then 5,000 health. After level 5, he starts gaining health at a slower rate. So if you really want to bring him into competitive play really early, you're going to want to get him to 4 or 5. And I promise you, you build the right deck, you start learning how to play around him, you are going to hit a jackpot deck, I promise you. And as more units come out to the game, we're getting one at some point in March, and we're getting another leader in April. Who knows what's going to happen, but we might have even better Earth decks, knowing that there are new units on the way and we don't even know what they do yet. They could buff, who knows. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching and listening to my ramblings on how to use this big guy. I hope that I could educate you at least a little bit and maybe get you a little bit better in the game and make sure you're getting those wins, because we all need 10 wins with him, or maybe it's 15 to get that poster. But regardless, we're trying to get that poster and we're trying to catch a dub while we're at it. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye.